Okay, friends, we're back. Day 3.
We did it.
We did it. We did it. For those of you who are like, why are they saying we did it? It's because our last 2 streams, we magically started streaming in the wrong place.
And as it turns out, it was like
As
a
it turns out.
technical glitch and not a person glitch. So it's
Yes.
not our fault.
Yes,
what
it's not
matters.
our fault. I was willing to take full responsibility for it, and it
Yeah.
turns out, even then, it wasn't me. Well, you picked a great stream to join us live. I already see tons of comments. Hey,
Yeah,
George.
this is a big one.
Hey,
This is a
Horatio.
really big one. I'm
We always have
excited.
Paul moderating for us. He's the best.
Hey, Paul.
This has just, I was just saying to you, Katie, off the air, and I'll say this and we'll hop in and talk about generative AI. That's going to be the focus of our discussion today. I think I've said it every day. I feel like Ecamm and Adobe Express are the perfect little siblings.
Yep.
Why? Because both platforms are designed to help you avoid overwhelm, tech overwhelm, every kind of overwhelm, right? There's so many things that prevent us from moving forward on our creative ideas because there's this tech thing in the way. And I really feel like you in the Ecamm fam, you've already been through this. Remember that first stream you ever did? I remember mine, Katie. Do you remember yours?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I talk about it often because it was
You do.
real scary. It was real scary for me.
You once and recently posted your first and your most
did.
recent, or it was a screenshot. I love the see. I still remember that was good social media content right there, honey.
Yeah.
But we've been through this idea that like sometimes you got to just go, you got to just do it, and you'll start somewhere. And so whether it's streaming or it's designing graphics or a combination of the two,
A combination, yeah.
I feel like Adobe Express, I feel like Ecamm make this a lot less scary. And so
Yeah.
lots to talk about, lots to show. I was laughing because I feel, even doing these workshops for you guys, I said to Katie, I was right before we went live, you guys have such a high standard of streams and streamers. Doc Rock, Marshall, like Adrian, like Katie, we got the whole, I mean, you got the whole
fam. Yep.
the whole fam, that it's just such an honor to get to hang out with you in this way and also interact with our amazing Ecamm fam. Now, we did have a question, Katie. You highlighted this for me. We had a question that came in overnight on one of the streams that was specifically about nonprofits. Can you kind of paraphrase that question for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had a question come in from one of the Ecamm fam who was asking, they were like, oh, I can't afford the entire Adobe Creative Cloud, but I really want to be able to take advantage of this and make a switch over from what I'm using right now. And I'm a nonprofit. So what do I do? And you were like, oh, I've got this. So I'm excited for your answer.
There's more. Yes. So I wanted to just start with this so we didn't forget to answer it. But for verified nonprofits, Adobe Express Premium is free. I'm very proud of this. I'm proud of lots of things in the Adobe world.
So yes.
Yeah, that's why we thought we would lead with this. There's a lot of things I'm proud of. I'm proud of how Adobe champions transparency in the use of AI. That will come up today. I'm proud of how Adobe gives these tools, makes these tools available for nonprofits. So you just need to be a verified nonprofit. If you can show that you are a nonprofit, once you're approved, you get access to Adobe Express Premium for free. You're right. I know we have lots of nonprofits in our Ecamm fam. So that is
Yeah,
what we
and
are
I'm,
leading
like,
with.
actually gonna jot this down too because I work, in my spare time for 2 different nonprofits, and we are using a hodgepodge of all kinds of nonsense. So I'm like,
Yep.
as you're talking, I'm like, "Okay, I need to follow up and make sure that I get those nonprofits registered in here because, yeah, I mean, saving pennies really matters." So, and George is asking the important question, where do nonprofits go to see this page? It looks like you're on plans and pricing.
Yeah, this is I honestly I don't even remember exactly what the URL is. It's on the Adobe website, Adobe Express. So I literally Googled Adobe Express for nonprofits. Right up here is what I Googled and landed right here. So as long as you make your way to the Adobe or the Adobe Express website, we've got a whole page dedicated to nonprofits. I think it might be here, right under here on the
Yeah, there
Adobe
you go.
Express website. And me finding where it is on the fly under plans and pricing, there's a whole section for nonprofits, and it will land you here where
Swing
you can
on
register.
over. Oh, and
Yeah,
hey, School of Prophecy, who asked the question, is here in the chat. So there you go. That was your
that's
question, and we got
perfect.
you. Great
Yeah,
question.
that's
Thank you for
perfect.
reminding us.
Thank you for asking such a great question. And I thought we would start today, obviously in Express. And again, we've hinted at some of the integrations with Adobe Firefly. Those are our generative
Mhm.
AI features, and they're just beautifully sprinkled around the platform to make your life easier. And I'm going to showcase a few of them today. We'll come back to this one. I want to start with text to image, which you'll find under media, but I just
Mhm.
clicked templates. I think for this particular audience, text to template is
Oh,
really
love that.
interesting. I said we come back to it, but I kind of think I
Okay.
should just click it right now since
I'm
we're
like,
talking
"Oh, it
about it.
sounds exciting though." So
It sounds
let's
exciting. Yeah, I was like, we'll come back, but you know me. I'll say that we'll come back and then we won't because I'll get
yeah,
sidetracked a million
yeah.
times. But this is an example. So the example prompt they give you is a poster for a chess tournament. Katie, do you want to give me? I'm putting you on the
Mhm.
spot. Do you want to give me like an
No,
example
I have
social
a good
media need
one.
or in the
So,
chat?
an ask for volunteers, is that a good one?
Great.
I'm working on one of these myself, so you can help me
Okay.
save some time.
Give me a bit more context. And ask.
And
Let me
ask
zoom in
for
a bit so you guys can see.
volunteers for a planning meeting for a do we need specifics of the organization?
I'm not going to pressure you to
Okay.
type it any certain way because this is the beautiful
Oh,
thing about text to template. I don't want anything that's going to prevent you from at least getting a prompt in there to try it. And
oh,
if
there
you
you go.
find from the results that you need to give it more specificity, then guess what you do?
Yeah.
Revise
You
your
know me too
prompt.
well. You know how I
Yeah.
overthink things. I'm like, "Wait a sec, that's not the
Yeah.
right prompt."
No, yeah. And this, friends, I will tell you, um, as someone who spent a lot of time
Oh, look at this.
experimenting with AI tools, don't overthink the prompt. And also, don't let anyone convince you that a prompt needs to be written a certain way. The prompt should be written however you want to write the prompt, as long as you remember that your output will only be as good as your input. And it also
Mm,
means you don't need to get it right the first time. Typically, the first time I write a prompt, it's the basis for me to know what else I need to add or
yep,
remove from the prompt that I gave it. There's no
yep.
pressure. There's no one other than ourselves saying, get it right the first time. That's not what you need to do with AI. I think we need to think of it as an iterative process
Mhm.
and even, Katie, when we think about AI in
Oh, look at
general,
this one.
isn't it cool? Do you like these?
I'm loving these, and what I love, like, everything that you're saying, what's really cool about how this is even named, that this is a text to template. So this is not
Yes.
even the final point anyway. So you have your prompts, but then once you get close enough with what is generated from the prompt, then you have the template, and then you can switch colors or add your own photo or whatever it is to make it yours. So it's not there's so many different points where you can kind of take the ball and run with it. So it's not like even if you've quote unquote gotten the prompt wrong in your head,
Yeah.
like if it gives you a starting point, great. That's all you need is a starting point, right? Like so
Exactly. Exactly. It's supposed to be a starting point. So I actually love this example. I could plug in a different stock photo, or maybe I've got a photo prepared that can go in there. I can update my fonts. Um, if you joined us for, I think it was mostly in stream 2 where we talked about libraries and brands and Express. It came up in both of them, but that's a good one to rewatch if you're curious,
yeah.
like, how do I set up a library I can use across Creative Cloud apps? Or how can I set up my brand in Express so that I know, and even not just I, but your team, people that are, marketing or social media that want to follow the rules to stay on brand, All of that can be set up in Express and make it really, really easy for you to stay on brand. So
Yeah,
that's text to
absolutely.
template. That's fun, right?
Oh, yeah, I think that's just a great starting point that takes it kind of beyond what exists within just the templates area. Like, it really lets you personalize it, which is nice.
100%. And so, okay, I want to look at text to image. This one is really fun to play with. So,
So
under
excited.
media, yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun. Under media, we then will choose the image size. There's also access to text to image on the dashboard, the homepage. From
Mhm.
here, we would choose our image size. So I'm going to select. I'm going to do. What am I going to do? I'm going to do portrait for this
Yeah,
example. Okay.
great.
So, and actually, I'm going to pop it over top of this one. So we're going to generate. We're going to see what we can create. Are you happy with this prompt, Katie, or do you want to change it? Here, let
No,
me
we can
click
try.
on
Yeah,
it.
let's give it a try. Yeah.
So minimalist living room with yellow wall. Let's change it to blue wall
There you
and
go.
stylish wooden furniture. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
I like it. Yeah.
And so once we've got our prompt in there, again, there are no rules on the prompt. Just remember
Oh, you can
your
choose
output
art,
will.
graphic, or photo. That's
What are
cool.
you most excited by?
Graphic, I think. Just
Graphic.
because it's
Great.
different. Yeah.
So then from there, if we want, we can choose movements, themes, techniques, effects. We don't
Ooh.
have to. I normally don't choose these unless I really am trying to get something specific, such
Okay.
as, oil painting is kind of cool, or
Yeah. Doodle is kind of
um,
fun too.
doodle is really cool, really cool. So let's select that one since you're
All
excited
right.
by that one.
Yeah. Let's do it.
And we can go ahead and click generate. Now, while this is generating, it'll take a few seconds to interpret our text prompt and create something with the magic of AI. Very important for our audience to know. Text to image, look how cool that is. I'm trying not to get distracted.
Oh, it's so cool.
Look how cool that is.
Oh, the second one. Oh, I like that second one on the top.
This one.
Oh, yeah. I like that
So
one.
I love it. I actually love that art.
I love the art. Yeah, I'm like, can
I
I have that in
love
my
the art.
house? I love that art.
So we actually changed the prompt just because I like to get crazy on the fly. So we actually said blue. Um, and so what I want to mention to our audience, text to image in Express, this is text to image version 1 that's integrated in Express.
Mhm.
These images that you create are free for commercial use.
Wow.
Very important. So there's text to image tools out there where they might be in beta. If they're in beta, in many cases, that means it is not safe for commercial use. There's
Yeah.
licensing built in to your Adobe Express Premium or your Adobe Express Free. It's going to be more limited, or your Creative Cloud subscription, where the images you create are free for commercial use. Very important. So no limitations on that front. It wasn't that way when it launched and it was in beta, but I'm very happy now that we can use these images on our social, on our websites without any kind of fear. Wanted to mention
And
that.
is this just so I because I see this question coming in, and so this Firefly and everything we're showing right now, is this available in free and premium, just in premium? What level are we at?
Good question. I haven't used Express Free for a little while for obvious reasons, but I think the main difference would be the credits that you have
Right.
available. Okay,
Got it.
so when I click up here, um,
Generative
on your
credits.
own unique
Mhm.
licensing, exactly. You'll see here, your plan includes generative credits. That's Adobe's system of basically keeping track. It's like you're at an arcade, like credits,
Yeah.
Um,
Your
there has to
tokens.
be, yeah,
Exactly.
tokens,
Yeah.
exactly. There has to be some kind of limit, obviously, because it costs money to do this and it's a business. But at the same time, it'll be different for each person based on the plan that you have and the licensing agreement that you have. But on Express Premium, you have a lot. I can't remember the exact number, but it's so much that I've literally never needed to worry about reaching my limit. And I think even when you do
Yeah.
reach your limit, you can purchase more if that's something that you find yourself. But our audience
Awesome.
here, I don't think that they would be hitting that limit, which is great. So that is text to image. Let me show you one more integration of Adobe Firefly in Express. We're going to go to text. This one is totally unique to Adobe. Okay. So, text to image, we've seen this in other there's
Mhm.
there's different versions of this in different tools, but text effects, I have never seen anything like this, and
Oh, me.
it's
Yeah.
really a lot of fun. So you get to choose your favorite. What about this blueberry?
Oh, the blueberry's
I
fun.
feel like
Yeah.
this blueberry is very aesthetic for what we're working on over here. So what you're gonna do is you can choose
So
the
fun.
example style, which
Yeah.
we just did to keep things simple, but
Yeah.
even then, you don't need to. Um, Look at this. And so I'm actually just gonna type a B, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
eliminate this prompt in the background so that we can
Yeah.
just have something to look at here. It is
So
humongous on
fun.
my screen, but I keep looking at my monitor to make sure that
Yeah.
it's also
No, no, it's
visible over
good. I
here.
can see it.
Yeah, great. That, I don't know about you, but that's a bee made out of blueberries,
That is a
according to
blueberry
my
bee.
scientific research. Text effects here. So give me another one. Katie, give me another one. You get to decide since we've learned this
Oh
week that
my
you are, in
gosh.
fact, a creative. You are, in
Um,
fact, a designer.
Trees? Let's go with
Trees.
trees.
What kind of trees? I want a specific tree.
Pine trees.
Pine trees.
Evergreen
Great.
trees? Yeah.
Pine trees. So while we're letting that load, we can choose tight, medium, loose, just in terms of the style. I also love this style panel. Look at that. Oh, I like this one.
I
I'm
know,
going to
it's not
click.
quite as cool as the blueberries. I don't
Not quite
know.
as cool. Yeah, not
Not
quite
quite.
as
Oh, that one's
cool.
kind of fun, like sort of wreathy. I like that one. A little bit
Yeah, it
more
is kind
open.
of wreathy, but then you could also type in wreath. I mean, you can have
Yeah.
so much fun here. And I find that it's almost like less is more. Like this is really fun to
Yeah.
integrate into a design. You probably wouldn't want to write a whole paragraph with text
No, yeah.
effects because it might be challenging to read.
People will be like, "What is that?" Yeah.
But the other thing that's great is they do a really good job of giving you examples, particularly with text effects. Here there are
Yeah.
so look at this green gooey slime. Like I would have never thought of that on my own. But
That's fun.
I think what we also discovered this week, Katie, is like you don't always need to know what you need or want. The whole point of hopping into Express is to become inspired. So
Yeah.
something you discover under text effects, how
Oh,
good is
so fun.
that?
That's
Cactus.
a good one. Yeah.
Something that you discover under the elements, design elements. Look at that. That is so good.
That is so
Um,
fun. I'm looking at like the wood ones would be great for some of our woodworkers. So I know we have in the Ecamm fam, like Matt is a great example. So yeah, that's awesome. Oh wait, we have a great
so
question coming in from George.
yeah,
George is
let's answer
asking,
it.
can you upload an image or a photograph and have Firefly modify it based on a prompt and choices?
Mm, I don't think that can be done within Express, but I'm going to show you. We've looked at text to image version 1, which is integrated in
Hmm.
Express and it is safe for commercial use. We're going to hop over to the browser in a second and look at image 2, which gives you a little bit more flexibility in terms
Okay.
of
I like it.
why you might upload an image. Yes. But
Yeah.
as it stands right now, that is not possible. It
Ooh,
would
I
be
like the
cool if it
wood.
is. And it wouldn't expect, it wouldn't surprise me if that did become a feature that's
Yeah.
integrated, because that does seem like something that would be really useful.
Yeah, it would.
Um, the wild thing is with all of this type of technology, it requires a lot of like legal and approval.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
In
I
order to do it
love
right.
knowing, right? What I love knowing is that when I'm in the Adobe ecosystem, it's safe. Like,
Mhm.
right, there's not going to be
Yeah.
copywritten characters that you don't have permission to use. There are safeguards in place to make sure and to just give you that kind of peace of mind. I think that's
Yeah.
really, really important.
Yeah.
Okay, we've looked at text to image version 1. We've looked at text to template. We've also tried text effects. I'm just quickly going to go back to the dashboard of Adobe Express, where you're going to see all of the integrations of generative AI in Express from
Ooh,
Firefly. So
Phil.
we looked at text to image, generative
Yeah.
fill. This is if we want to add or remove something.
Yeah.
We looked at that yesterday, so I might not demo that right now. Remember, we
Okay.
added a cloud
Yeah.
in Photoshop.
Mhm.
Know that you can also do it in Express. It's very straightforward. We talked
Yep.
text to template. We also talked text effects. I want to hop over to firefly.adobe.com, where you'll see
Mhm.
a repetition of some of these great features that we're talking
And if
about.
you
And
have
if
Express, do you also have Firefly, or are they 2 different, packages or pricing or
Yeah,
login?
so you would. you would basically log in with your Adobe login. With
Okay.
Express, you would
Yeah.
have an Adobe login. You know that because
Mhm.
you'll see your little profile photo up here.
Mhm.
Logged in, you'll be able to access these. I believe you can also access these again with limitations on a free account. Some of these are beta. So what I want to show you, we looked at text effects, generative fill. So let's look at text to image. Some of these are in Illustrator, so text to vector graphic we won't look at
Ah,
in this workshop series, but that's one
okay.
that's
Yeah.
specifically in Illustrator. You can create patterns, vector graphics,
That's cool.
scenes, really, really cool. And generative recolor, you basically can take a vector artwork and
Oh, neat. And
single
apply, like,
click.
your brand colors.
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah, that's cool.
exactly. What I want to show you from the browser is text to image version 2. It's
This
very
is so fun.
important that you
Yeah.
know that this is still in beta. So these are not, the images you produce here are a little bit more of an experiment per se than they are something you
Don't
can
build
go
your
and
business
use.
around them.
Do not
Yeah.
build your business, at least until this comes out of beta, which we're hopeful. I mean, it makes sense that that's the direction we're headed in, but we appreciate
Yep,
all the lawyers at Adobe making sure we don't get into trouble.
exactly.
I have discovered this to be so powerful when, we talk about AI, Katie, and people are like doomsday, but I actually get really excited about the ways in which AI is enabling us to be more creative. I'll give you an
Yeah.
example. I was working on a project where I wanted to generate an airplane made out of chocolate. It was I needed a visual to represent a 10th year anniversary for an airline. Okay,
That's
very
awesome.
specific and
Yeah.
very niche.
Oh,
I went
yeah.
to a I went to Adobe Stock and I already have this queued up and ready to go because I'm gonna just remember this for a second. The chocolate marshmallow image that I got from Adobe Stock. But I went over here and I typed this airplane made from chocolate and marshmallows with confetti. Okay, it's
Such
a
a wonderfully
very
specific
spec.
example.
Did you expect results, Katie? You
No,
did
I did
not.
not expect results, no.
And did you get results? No, you did
No,
not.
no.
So when we hop back over to Firefly, text to image version 2, I literally, you guys, I copied that same prompt, typed it into here. We're going to give it a second. Notice here in the web browser version, we see Firefly image 2 still in beta, not yet integrated into Adobe Express, but I know we've got some creative people in this crowd, which is why I'm showing it. Little a
Yeah.
little a little yes and. Have a look at our results.
They're so they're so cute. Like,
I'm going to
it's
punch up a little bigger here and see if you can see them a little bigger. There we go. That is an airplane made from chocolate and
uh,
marshmallows with confetti.
yeah.
And I have the option here. I selected photo for this one. We could choose art. We can choose visual intensity and the similar styling. We can also specify under advanced if there's something we want to exclude from the design. You can actually
Mm,
specify that. We've got photo settings. I mean, it's really
wow.
incredible. When I hover over this, you'll see what the differences are. So Firefly image 1, we've got integrated express, safe for commercial use. I'll keep saying it because it's important. Image
Yep.
2 is the newer version, so higher quality images of people, text alignment,
Mhm.
and better style support. Let's look at that really quickly. We can upload what's called a reference image gallery.
Okay.
So let me go to my
Yeah.
downloads where I have this handy. We're going to say that we have permission to use this Adobe stock photo that I licensed. And I'm simply going to upload this because I don't want just chocolate and marshmallows, Katie. I want
You want
chocolate
chocolate
covered
marsh
marshmallows.
exactly.
So we'll upload the image. You'll see it there under style reference, bottom left. We'll
Mhm.
click generate. We'll give it a few seconds, maybe explore some of the other style settings here. I cranked up the visual intensity because that's just the kind of mood we're in today, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, vivid. We're in
Vivid.
the vivid mood.
And there we go.
Oh!
So
Look at them, they're so much cuter.
when I tell you that this is enabling people to be even more creative, even if you don't identify as a designer or creative, this I find so exciting. I have a client that I featured on my Instagram in a little reel a few weeks ago, landscape architect, who was like,
Yeah. Oh,
she
yeah.
was like, Phil, I am so excited by how this is going to inspire my projects, like creating concepts that up to this point only live in her mind that she has to use her words to explain to a client, or like a 2D mood board. And now look at what we
Yeah.
can do. Look at what we can do with a text prompt. Like, you can be
Yeah.
so creative, and you don't need to be any kind of person or have any kind of skill set to be able to play in here. And I'm just so excited for our Ecamm fam to hop in here and explore. George says,
Oh, yeah.
that's freaking amazing.
It is, George. I'm with you. This one is amazing.
That's
Oh, shoot.
freaking amazing.
It looks like I missed so Jeremy, you might need to rephrase this one because I think that your question was coming like while Phil was demonstrating. But Jeremy
Oh,
asked, the pull down on the left of the prompt poster, can you select a 1920 by 1080 template? Maybe we
let's go
can
back and
figure out
look.
where that was. That was, I think, during when you were in Express before Firefly.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Sorry, Jeremy. If
So
you want to re-ask that more specifically, if we miss it, let us know. Let us know.
here, let me get rid of that comment. So you want me to go back to Express, yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So before I
Let's go back
before I
to
eat all those chocolates.
Express. Before you
That's
eat all the
100%
chocolate.
gonna 100% gonna happen. All right, so let's try to while Jeremy is answering us more, let's try to figure
Yeah.
out if we can answer this one. So the pull down on the left of the prompt poster, and
So
posters in quotations. So
I'm going to go to text to image here. In terms of, I might actually add a new one. So let's deselect it. I might even just delete that one. Don't worry, we can recall it later, Katie, because I know you loved it.
I did
Text
really
to
like that
image.
one.
There are 4 image sizes. So you would definitely want to choose whatever is closest
Oh
to
yeah,
the
so the
style
16
that
by
you're
9.
after.
Yeah, if that that would mimic the 1920 by 1080. If that's what you were asking, Jeremy. If we missed it, I think we got it, but if not, let us know. We're happy to left of the
And
generative template. Okay, yeah, so that's probably it. Yep.
And so it doesn't have to be exact. Like, you're not limited to just those designs, right? Like, because we can crop. So you
Yeah.
want to find whatever is closest
Yeah.
to the size that you're after, then you would crop it thereafter. Does that answer your question?
It does. I'm laughing because business growth ready is making a Star Trek reference, and I've just been living in Picard this week, so I'm like, yes, I'm right there with you. Earl Grey tea and replicators for everyone. You're my kind of nerds, and I love it. It's
What else
incredible.
we got?
We don't
Okay, I saw
have a ton.
Jeremy's
We have a lot
question
of
here.
Yeah, we got a lot of excitement. We didn't have a ton of questions. So if there's more questions, drop them in now because we're like ahead of time by a couple minutes today. So
We are. That's a
I
first for
love it.
us.
It's a first for us. Well, it's actually a good point to remind everyone that even if you're just jumping into this session, and even if it's later today, or I think you have until Tuesday, if I remember correctly, you can still register for this workshop for free, even if you've watched all the sessions, because you'll get reminders and you'll get added into our giveaway for a chance to win a free year of Adobe Express Premium, which is awesome.
Ooh-wee.
And Phil teased this at the very beginning, but there's a fancy dancy certificate for everyone who completes workshops like this. And we're making it a game. So we're gonna be checking in on how many certificates y'all have at the end of the year. So make sure you get this one because you put in the time and you learned with us. So it's definitely worth registering for a number of different reasons. And again, I solemnly swear we are not going to spam your email. We are only going to send you things that are applicable to workshops and reminders on upcoming workshops. So worth it. But yeah, there
Look
it
at this cute little
is.
certificate.
There it is.
I
Your
love how
name
this turned
there.
out. And it's a
Yeah.
remixable template. So to do
Yeah.
that, I just went to share and then I clicked make a template. And
Mm-hmm.
from here, I can save it to a library.
Yeah.
I can also publish to web. So what this does, it's similar, but it wouldn't save it to a library. It would enable others to remix it. And what that does is it creates a link for you to be able to share that. And that's visible by someone who may not have Adobe Express yet. That's my favorite way to share remixable templates, because that might be a way to get people into the platform or using your brand, or let's say you've got freebies, worksheets.
Mm-hmm.
There might be something that you offer to your audience to grow your email list, for example. This
Yeah.
is a great way to do that. Almost all of mine are Adobe Express templates.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the ease of kind of collaborating and sharing and being able to just work more efficiently really it's incredible with this tool. So it's huge. I'm laughing at Gretchen's comment. Yeah, I know. I don't know why I didn't think of books. It's because I'm staring across the room and I have this like tree design on one of my pins. So I was like trees. But yeah, books, definitely books is a fun one. Yeah,
Books is
there's
a good
Matt.
one.
Matt, wood for Matt
Yeah.
because he's
Thanks,
he's the
Matt.
wood guy. Yeah.
Thanks for the nice comments. We have had
Yeah.
so much fun these last few days. Like,
Hmm.
it's been wild to, just hop in here and have fun together. And I'm hopeful that our friends, even if you caught a few minutes of some of the streams, you've got all three of them now that you can watch and replay. And I
Yeah.
think when you add them all up together, they are basically a pretty comprehensive tutorial on how
Mhm.
to do most things in Express. I bet when you hop in here on your own, you'll still discover little things that will be
Oh
exciting
yeah.
for you. Something for me, like even basic shapes, the ability to hop in here and have complete control over like circles,
Yep.
rectangles for streams and stuff,
Yeah.
backgrounds or highlighting elements, YouTube
Mhm.
graphics, animating, photos to turn it into a video very quickly without overthinking it. There's so much packed in here. All you need to do is just hop in and experiment and give yourself space and permission to play?
Yeah, yeah. And we say this at Ecamm all the time, but this goes absolutely for Express as well. It's like to push the buttons. What's the
Push the
worst that could
buttons.
happen? Like be like, what's this? And press it. There's all of these tools are made to for you to test and play and practice. And every single time you try something that you're like, oh, I don't know if I actually need to do that, or I don't really know what that does. Like you might discover that it's the most helpful feature yet, or that it really makes a big difference in your design or in your stream. So Ecamm and Express both made to play and test
Made
and
to
move
play.
things
There's the new
around and
brand. There's the new
exactly,
brand. Adobe
exactly.
Express and Ecamm, made to play. Katie, do you want to
Made to
plug
play.
the giveaway
Yeah.
once again?
So last time, just in case, and don't worry if you're like, oh shoot, it's now Friday, March 15th. That's okay. There's a little bit of a window to still get in if you even though this is technically over. Get in, you'll get the replay access, you'll get the certificate. You're gonna want to swing over, and Paul will drop this link in, but it is
Thank you, Paul.
events events dot ecamm ecamm .com/Adobe. And that will register you for this event and will give you the opportunity to win a free year of Adobe Express Premium, which you absolutely want to have. And then it will also give you access to, again, we will bundle up kind of all of these videos and share the main talking points and give you some additional content and reminders and all that stuff. And it'll get you that certificate, which you can hang on your wall or add to your LinkedIn or whatever you want to do with it. But hang on to it because we're cooking up some fun stuff for people who collect them all. It's like Pokemon. you,
Yeah,
you want all your workshop certificates. And I will actually do a couple of additional small plugs. So Phil, before we jump
please.
off, you are working / just finished up a book, so you should mention that
Oh,
and where
how
people can grab
convenient that I
that
had this right here. The
because
book
we're
as
talking
it's
AI today.
The book as it stands is a Google Doc,
Mhm.
65,000 words. And so the title page right now is a piece of paper.
Yeah,
But
that's
that
all
is
right.
it. Yeah, it is actually available for pre order. I pre ordered it myself. I
So
pre
exciting.
ordered copies
Congratulations.
of myself, and that'll publish. We're anticipating September, October. I believe October 9th is the official date. We may have a
Woo.
digital version that comes out prior to that, but it's
Mhm.
very, very exciting. Really creating content and using Ecamm to create my content has been so hugely instrumental in my business and in my career. It was the book publisher, so Adams Media, imprint of Simon and Schuster, that discovered me through YouTube videos that I create using Ecamm. They came to me with a book deal and said, "We really like how you explain things, especially on this topic that's so overwhelming."
Yeah.
And that was how I got a book deal. So you guys play a little role in it. All of that to
All
say,
right,
you play a little role on what is now a Google Doc and a piece of paper, but it will be a real book soon. It will be a real
I'm
book
so
soon.
super excited. Well, congratulations. And I
Thank
guess
you.
final small plug is we're just throwing all the plugs at you.
Yeah,
So we tricked Phil into speaking at our upcoming Leap into Tools and Tactics virtual
yes.
summit on that topic. So if today you're like, oh, hang on, I want to know more about this AI stuff, more to come. So definitely grab a copy of Phil's book. Definitely keep an eye on Ecamm's channels for our official launch of Leap, or you can swing over to leap.ecamm.com to get on the wait list. But upcoming, all exciting, fun stuff. But I love, Phil, how easy you make it, because it does. It feels really big for a lot of us, and
Hmm.
it's finding like the right tools and finding ways to use them correctly to save ourselves
Yeah.
all a ton of time is my mission this year. So I'm so
It's
happy
everyone's
that
mission.
so
It's
happy to be
everyone's
working with people
mission.
like you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I listen, it's mutual. And I'm really excited actually about that coming up because I plan to
Cool.
share, I think what did I say, 5 or 6? I think you gave me the number. It's like
I think it
a
was 5. We're like,
handful,
maybe a bonus.
maybe a
It's 5
bonus.
or
Yeah.
6. Yeah.
Yeah. Under promise, over deliver.
Exactly.
It'll be a handful of tools that I really love as a small business owner and that I've helped my clients implement. The book has over 200 tools recommended in it. So it's been a lot of research
Mhm.
lately to hit those deadlines, but also make sure I'm recommending tools I really believe in. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, it's just mutual. I love our Ecamm fam. I think what you guys have created is just so special. I mean, you guys are software, and like, look at the community that you have, and
Yeah.
everything
We have the
nowadays is
best people.
community. AI
Exactly.
doesn't matter. Nothing in business matters without community, right?
Mhm.
That is literally what is driving businesses, big and small, nowadays. You guys really
Yep.
have mastered it, and I'm just happy to be a super small part of our little
Oh.
mosaic of excitement and awesomeness. So thank you for hosting us on behalf of Adobe and Adobe Express. We really appreciate you collaborating with us. And
Yeah,
thanks again to
absolutely.
everyone who's caught
Mhm.
the replays and the live streams. It's been just a pleasure.
Well, thank you so much, and thanks, Ecamm fam. If there are additional questions that come up following this, you absolutely can drop them either here on any of the videos. We're keeping an eye on questions to answer them, or obviously in our community and Discord spaces. You will see Paul and Doc and I and everyone on the team continuing to use Express. And if there's any questions that come up, we'll be right there learning and growing alongside you. But thank you so
That's what
much,
we love to
Phil.
hear.
Thanks,
Thank you
everyone.
guys. Thanks everyone. Chat soon and good luck. And we'll see you soon.